So I heard you want to beat the Lost Sector fast.
What's good, guys? It's Zen, and I'm here with your daily Lost Sector guide. Now, I have over 4,000 hours in this game, so if you listen to these tips, we will get those runs going as fast as possible for you and get those exotics. Now, all of the information I drop throughout this video is super concise, and I drop relevant tips throughout the entire video, so be sure not to skip anything and watch the entire video for the best exotic farm. I'll give some additional info about this guide while I show you how to get there, but if you want, you already know where it's at. Feel free to skip to this time to get right into the guide. Now, I'm gonna be honest, this is a mid-tier farm. You will be getting regular 8-minute clears, which is about double the fastest runs. However, this isn't so bad, and with my tips, you'll be getting the fastest clears possible. In this guide, I will be using no exotic armor, as I want it to be applicable to anyone watching. Whether or not you have certain builds unlocked, I want to help. However, exotics will of course help, so I will give recommendations while explaining the build. I will be using Titan, but I will give recommendations for Warlocks and Hunters, so the guide is useful for all three classes. And now that you know how to get there, let's get right into the guide. Alright, so we'll start with the build. If you have your own, feel free to skip to this time, but I do recommend listening as this build will trivialize the Lost Sector. Today, we have to deal with 2 barriers and 2 unstoppable champions. There is a solar or void surge depending on when you watch this. With this in mind, we will be running a pulse rifle, glaive, and a machine gun. Pulse rifles, of course, deal with barriers. Glaives trivialize unstoppable champions and the absolute horde of adds in this Lost Sector when combined with Devour. Finally, your machine gun is for the boss, so be sure to match your machine gun element to the current active surge. For me, it's Solar Surge, but you can check what it is here. Today, we will be taking advantage of Void. Your super should be Sentinel Shield, Vortex Bomb, or Mobius Quiver. Your grenade should be Vortex. For your fragments, we will be taking advantage of Devour, so slot on Echo of Starvation. We will also need Echo of Obscurity. Each room has hordes of adds, so we will get them low with our glaive and finish them. The Invis, when combined with Devour, will easily wipe the entire room and keep us full HP. Echo of Persistence will increase the duration of our Devour and Invis. Finally, you'll want Echo of Undermining to weaken the boss and do more damage to it. For your aspects, Titans should use Offensive Bulwark and Controlled Demolition, as we need 4 fragment slots and won't need the Overshield. You'll see what I mean. Warlocks should use Feed the Void and Chaos Accelerant for more potent Vortex grenades and to remove the need to grab orbs for Devour. Hunters should use Stylish Executioner and Vanishing Step to stay invis and get 4 fragment slots. Now for the armor mods. On the helmet, slot on Special and Heavy Ammo Finder, as well as a Siphon mod matching your glaive element to generate orbs for Devour. For gauntlets, use 1 firepower and as many impact inductions as possible. This will give us an orb of power for grenade kills, which would proc our Devour. Warlocks won't need firepower. Impact Induction gives us grenade energy for melee hits, so with our glaive we will basically always have our grenades up. The Artifact mod Authorized Mods Grenades reduces the cost of these mods to 1, allowing you to easily fit all 3. For your chest, slot on as many melee resist and sniper resist mods as possible. There are many snipers in this Lost Sector, and we will be close range with our glaive the majority of the run. For legs, you will of course want scavenger mods corresponding to your glaive and machine gun. For me, that's Void and Solar. Finally, for your class item, you'll want Proximity Ward and Bomber. Proximity Ward gives you an overshield while finishing, which really guarantees that combo we discussed earlier of going invis and getting Devour. With this, we will pretty much want to finish every ad in the Lost Sector. Bomber will give us more grenade uptime. The last thing before we discuss the exotics is your stats. As usual, you'll want 100 resilience for 30% damage reduction, and as much discipline as possible for grenade uptime. Use these exotics if they are available to you. These picks will take this Lost Sector from 10 minutes down to 8, or potentially even 7 or 6. If you wanted to use your exotic slot on heavy, here are your options. If it is Void Surge weak for you, slot on Deterministic Chaos, as this will weaken the boss for you and do exotic heavy damage. If it is Solar Surge, use Xenophage. Another great option is Arbalest instead of a Pulse, which will trivialize the barrier champions. Now for the exotic armor. For Titans, you should run Loreley Splendor Helm, Doomfang, or Syntheseps. Loreley Splendor heals you when you get low. As long as you have a barricade charge, you essentially have double HP. Doomfang makes your super last much longer as long as you get shield kills. With this exotic, you can stay in your super for the entire boss fight. Syntheseps will give you higher glaive damage versus the unstoppable champions, taking more time off of the run. For hunters, use Omnioculus or Orpheus Rig. Omnioculus gives you resist while invis, increasing your sustain. You also get a second smoke charge, which can be used to weaken enemies. Orpheus Rig gives you an additional shot of your Mobius quiver, making the boss fight much shorter. For warlocks, use Controverse Hold or Necrotic Grip. Controverse Hold gives you more grenade uptime. Necrotic Grip will create a poison explosion after a glaive kill, which is great for ad clear. And now that we have our build, we can get into the walkthrough. Alright, so jumping right in, first thing we're going to want to do is proc our Devour by throwing a grenade at this Legionary. Then we will just start glaving everything down. If you are in a group of ads, you're going to want to finish them, as that's going to proc your invis, give you Devour, and just keep you alive so that you can ambush them. So we're just going to clear the room of all the ads, and then we can take on the barrier champion. You are going to want to pretty much finish every single enemy, that way you don't get sniped or ambushed by any of the ads. After you clear the ads, just take care of the barrier. Very simple stuff. You can use some of your machine gun, then switch to your pulse. After the barrier is down, throw your grenade right here to re-proc your Devour if you lost it during the barrier fight. Very simple stuff, and then we're just going to clear out this room the same exact way, just using our glaive and finishing everything. Now a good tip for you is most of the Cabal Legionnaires are 2 glaive shots to be able to finish, and the Scions are usually just 1. Now this last guy here has quite a bit of health and does quite a bit of damage, so you're going to want to use your glaive projectile instead of meleeing him down the entire way. Just hit him a few times and then you can finish off with your melee. Then we'll just head down this hallway. First thing you're going to want to do when you enter this room is take care of those turrets. Then again, it's just rinse and repeat. We'll clear this entire room, and honestly, it is the exact same thing. For the majority of this lost sector, you are just going to be glaving things down and finishing them. Very, very simple stuff. There's just a lot of ads, so that's why it takes quite a while. After you clear out enough ads, the next champion will spawn. You'll clear the rest of the ads, and then you can just focus him down. Just another barrier, and again, you'll just use your heavy and break that shield with the pulse rifle. After clearing that champion, you'll just head up here into the final boss room. We are already there. Now you see 6 minutes on the clock. That is again because we're not using any exotics to enhance our run. So the first thing you're going to want to do is head right here, right exactly where I'm running. That's where the unstoppables are. Now they'll chase you down a little bit and you can stun both of them and then start meleeing them down. Now one thing to keep in mind, if you hold down your block button while you're glaving, you will have a faster cast speed, which means more damage overall. So we'll just take care of them, and then we're going to focus down the boss. Now if any ads come anywhere near us, we will just re-proc our Devour and do that whole ad clear thing again. They will come behind us eventually. Now one thing to take note of is, as you just saw, unstoppable champions sometimes just randomly explode. Not too much you can do about it, just go into the exact same spot that we were previously. This time the ads are procced on us, so we'll just throw our grenade down, proc our Devour, and we go back to ad clear. Just gonna focus the boss down, try to do some damage to him, and if something comes behind us, we'll kill it. We made quick work of this lost sector. Now, if you found any value in this video, a subscribe would be super appreciated. These videos are super in-depth content, and I try to make them as useful as possible to everyone, while also being short and to the point. I upload Lost Sector guides every single day, as well as other good Destiny 2 and some Pokemon content. Either way, thanks for watching, and good luck farming, Guardians. See you tomorrow for the next Lost Sector.